Hi guys, welcome back to the workbench. Actually, I started to put videos on the YouTube back in March 2013. So it's not even a year, but it's become a very important part of how I practice my hobby today. And that's due to all these great folks out there putting up their videos and showing what they're doing in great detail and with a whole lot of passion. Well, since I built models quite a while before I started on YouTube, I'm inventing this new feature which I call Back in Time. In late 2011, I was given the chance to build the Hobby Boss AAVP7A1 with the REMEDIED rebuild and with the extra armor EAAK. The kit looked great in the box, so I started to get right into the action. I began with what usually is the most boring part of the build for me, that is cleaning up the road wheels and setting up the idlers and the drive sprockets and the return rollers, and as well align the running gear, put all the wheel suspensions up, and so on. All the parts fit pretty good, but actually with the wheel suspensions you need to be very careful because they allow you just a little bit of movement. So if you don't align them properly, all your road wheels will be sitting crisscross all over the place. So you gotta be careful to align those suspensions carefully. The parts fit is really good, and the only bit of plastic filling I need to do was at the tunnel for the propeller underwater propulsion set right in this place. The top is really an impressive part, and this is excellently molded. There are just two molding stubs on the very bottom of the vehicle where you never get to see them. However, there is a sink mark right at the bow of the vehicle, but you cannot really see that later on, so I decided not to fill it up in order not to damage the very nice welding seams. In general, all the injection marks in this kit are pretty well hidden, the only exception being on the inside of the tub, where the slanted parts of the outer shell show quite a few very big ejection marks. So I decided to shave off all the detail in that area and put on a piece of plastic sheet to cover the whole area. With the better construction of the tub completed, I turned my attention to all the panels on the inside. The detail on the kit is out of the box just excellent. The only part that is really missing is the CB radio. That can be bought as an add-on kit, but since you're not really seeing it, I decided not to put it in. I used Vallejo paints to paint all the inside. I used duck egg green for the interior color. That seemed to me the closest match to the pictures I could find online. And otherwise, there are quite a lot of reference pics on the internet to help you with the painting. Some of the few decals in this kit are used here on the inside of the vehicle, and they really help to give this a good impression. In total, all the parts come together very neatly, but if you do the dry fitting on the parts first, when you unpack them, the top and the tub of the vehicle fit together just like a glove, but with all the panels glued inside of the vehicle, it becomes a little bit more problematic. There are gaps opening now as the panels are added, and that is probably due to some distortion of the tub when the parts are being glued to it. However, in this particular case, it's not that much of a problem, because the add-on armor, the EAAK, will hide all problematic seams of the kit in the end, so you don't really have to care about closing the gaps later on. Another very impressive part of the kit is the top, which is greatly detailed from the inside and from the outside. There are a few injection marks that I decided to remove, even though they would be hardly visible on the finished kit, but I decided to shave off all the detail and fill the ejection marks, and then replace the detail with styrene. Same as the top got a layer of duck egg green. I added layers of future to it and did some pin washing and some dirtying up, and the inside of the vehicle is really convincing. The one thing I couldn't cope with was the tracks of the kit. The plastic pieces look very nice and they are relatively easy to clean up, but in my opinion the fit is just poor because they come apart whenever you move them. So I decided to switch to Friul lead or zin tracks. These are assembled in the usual manner. You just first clean them up, then you use a pin vise to open up the tunnels for the connecting thread, and then you just put them together. You add a drop of glue at the end of the tunnel, and they come together very nicely. They are very nice and heavy, and they're easily painted too. The painting sequence I chose was first to give the tracks a coat of black primer. Then I used track wash from AK Interactive, followed by application of a wash, an African dust wash from AK Interactive as well. In the next step, I painted the black rubber pads in NATO black from Life Color, that is, and in a final step I give the whole track dry brushing with various shades of gray and silver. The turret of the kit is a nice sub-assembly too. It goes together pretty well, and there is hardly any gap that needs filling. The only gripe I'm having with it is that due to the feeding belt for the grenade launcher, you can't show the guns in any elevated position other than the just normal 0 position. The next group of sub-assemblies that had to be built were the side armor, the top hedges, the aft ramp, and some other smaller detail that needed to be added to the outside of the kit. With all the major components finished, I decided to put together the major parts. Here you can see the top added to the tub, and quite clear the places where I added some putty to fill the gaps. But as said, these won't be visible later anyway because of the add-on armor. You can see there are a few photo etch parts added to the kit, and you can see all the interior is already masked off to protect the painting on the inside. For my model, I chose to follow the paint instruction of the Hobby Boss kit, which offers one painting variant with a tricolor camouflage scheme with the add-on armor painted in a sandy gray monochrome tone. As a first step, I paint all the recesses of the kit with flat back. This is starting with the add-on armor and is consequently going through all of the kit's main body parts. To mask off the camouflage, I used blue tack and Tamiya in combination. First masking off the black portions, followed by painting of the brown portions with another, masking and then adding the overall green shade to the yet unpainted portions of the whole body. To weather the model, I used a combination of several different techniques. I used washes, I used dry brushing, I made a few pencil outlines here and there, a little bit of chipping applied with a brush, with a paintbrush, and finally used all over pigments to give the kit good, nice and weathered look all over. Upon final assembly of the kit, all the parts came together pretty neatly. However, there were a few spots of tension between the main body of the kit and the add-on armor, so a step-by-step gluing was necessary with a sufficient time to let the paint dry, the glue dry. I'm a real slow modeler, so I'd estimate that I use something between 80 and 100 hours to finish the kit. I'm very, very satisfied with it, and it was one of the first armor kits I ever built, and it was really, really a satisfying experience, and the money value of the kit is just excellent. The only setback of the kit really is the tracks, in my opinion, but otherwise it's really, really a good kit, and I recommend it to everyone having an interest in modern armor. Thank you very much for checking in. Enjoy the pics and see you soon in another episode of Back in Time.